This your boys, ThoseWrestlingGuys09, RKO for Life 11.
Big Andy 012 here.
And today we have our special guest.
Big Rat. 10.
I thought his mic kind of went off
there, but all right.
I thought his mic kind of went off there. And the questions, whatever we're asking today. We pretty much got the idea from the Al Snow interview video. If you haven't already seen it, I think I'll put it up in the description box.
Me too.
What's the question, Big Red?
Is wrestling about having the best match, or is it about selling the most tickets? I'll let Reed start off since it's their show and I'm the guest.
Alright.
On your place, buddy. I'm just kidding.
Oh yeah, bring on the insults.
There ain't gonna be no more insults in there. That's one insult. Alright, but is wrestling about selling tickets? I believe it has been, in the past couple years. Well, actually, ever since, like the 80s or whatever. It has been mostly about selling tickets because the company can't thrive without selling tickets. But nowadays, as Big Red brought a point to me earlier, do people buy tickets to see, out of, seeing a match or to see about buying? I believe for the most part it is about a good match. So, what?
Okay, I was gonna say, Al Snow made a great example. At WrestleMania 3, people wanted to see Andre Hogan. They wanted to see Savage Steamboat, but the main reason they bought their tickets was to see Andre Hogan. But nowadays, I don't think that's the case. I think
it's now because of the better match and all that. I think it's because there is smart wrestling fans out there.
Yes.
Let me get my opinion in here, all right?
Get in there.
It's always going to be about selling the most tickets, guys, all right? Little kids aren't going to know that Undertaker versus HBK is going to be the best match on the card. They're thinking, I want to see freaking John Cena in the main event, or I want to see, freaking Jeff Hardy versus Matt Hardy because they're my favorite wrestlers, and I want to go buy the tickets just to see them. They're not thinking about, Undertaker HBK, it's going to be a 5-star classic. If you think about most of wrestling's, audiences, little kids, so that's probably mostly going to be the case for at least a while now.
Yeah, but that's for WWE standpoint. If you look at all the indies and maybe TNA and ROH and stuff like that, it's going to be for people who are expecting to buy the see the best match, and they're going to buy the tickets, and it's not necessarily not that cheap.
Reed. Here, I'm gonna ask you a question. You can refuse to answer it if you want. How old is your younger brother again? Is he 10 or?
He's just turned 11, yeah.
Yeah. Does he watch it for the show? Would he watch Andre Hogan or would he watch a Savage Steamboat? Would he watch for the best match or would he watch for the most over, the best wrestler, the biggest story?
Well, he's at the point it's like kids like WWE, wrestling experience.
That's their target audience. 9, 10, 11. That's their target audience. That's why I'm asking you.
Red watches. Listen for a second, guys. Red hasn't really got to the point of his wrestling experience where he knows what makes a good match and what exactly is a good match. He's a huge mark for Matt Hardy. If they have Matt Hardy in the main event, then he's gonna definitely watch it, no matter if it's against someone like Santino, and it's gonna be a match.
All right,
that's about him.
Why is Matt Hardy his favorite wrestler?
I actually have no. I think it was his favorite wrestler because with my little brother Reese, my little brother likes Jeff Hardy, and they just wanted to do that.
Okay, well,
there's no point about his wrestling ability. No, it wasn't.
Yeah, I was asking you what my favorite wrestler is, Jack Black. I couldn't give you an answer. Yeah, that's one of them.
Well, my favorite wrestler is Randy Orton. I can't really give an exact answer.
My favorite wrestler is The Undertaker, and I can give an answer because I love his style in the ring. I love damn phone. I love how he really can play multiple positions. He can be a good brawler. He has done technical before. I just love he's like an all-around wrestler to me, and I enjoy his matches very much. Now,
if you want to get all technical, you could come up with a few reasons. But
if it was Undertaker,
I was drawn to Randy Orton when I first got into wrestling. That's one of the main reasons.
If it was Undertaker,
I just like it.
I summed it up in a few words, though. I don't think I really could explain why, though.
Let's say Taker versus, give me a main eventer besides Triple H and besides John Cena. Edge. No, Edge actually works. I'm talking about a main eventer who's not that good. And not Batista, because they work well together. Undertaker versus Mick Foley in a regular wrestling match. Let's say that. That works. And it was that match, and I saw on the undercard, let's say Evan Bourne, Rey Mysterio, and they give them a good amount of time. I would rather see that match. Maybe because I rather enjoy.
Well, that's because we're smart marks and we know what people can put on a great match. Like, but that casual fans, the majority of wrestling, WWE fans, they don't really understand. I believe that because I'm not a casual fan, I wouldn't know if they understand what a good match is or not. But
let's put it this way.
Yeah, Andy.
You're talking about my friend. Right? Smart Mark is a casual wrestling fan, right? He loves Jeff Hardy, all right? Well, he loves Jeff Hardy. Or no lie, it's a true story. All he was talking about the week before WrestleMania is that Jeff Hardy versus, Matt Hardy Extreme Rules match. He did not care about, Undertaker HBK. He kind of did, though, because he likes HBK. But in the most part, he's excited about that match. He really wanted to see that match, even though we all know that didn't turn out to be the best match on the card. So, no prime example right there.
Okay, here's another reason that I noticed yesterday that I haven't seen a lot of people saying in the reviews. The crowd booed Cena yesterday at the Bash. They did.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
I think, but Cena's the most over guy in the company. I think it was because that crowd wanted to see a good match and they didn't get that. Now, yes, you could say that we're smart marks, but in my opinion, I think all those WWE fans who attend events aren't smart marks because if you brought the entire IWC to the Bash and Jeff Hardy came out, he would get booed out of the building.
Probably would, yeah.
So that's why I kind of think even casual fans would kind of prefer a good match. Cena's the most over guy in the company.
But they really didn't boo going into the match that much. If you listen to it,
they booed at the.
Oh, here's another example. When I first started wrestling, I told you guys the first pay-per-view I ever watched was the Great American Bash 07. The main event of that pay-per-view was Kane versus Khali versus Batista. And if I think about now being a smart mark, that would be a horrible match now. It would be absolutely atrocious. But back then, I thought that was the shit because I loved Kane and I kind of liked Khali back then. So I was like, shit, I want to see that match more than anything. And that's one of the reasons I bought the pay-per-view.
Okay. First of all, I didn't think that match was bad. It
sucked, and it did.
I didn't think it was that bad. I think it gets a little too much shit. Triple threat matches, they kept Khali out of the match a long time, which I thought was a good move. Triple threat matches are a little more entertaining.
I about that match, actually.
What was another point I wanted to make? Okay, I want to see another part of his shoot about the 7 deadly steps. For all you at home, I think step 1 was the babyface shine.
I don't know. It was the basic of it was it that
it's like a basic match, basically.
Yeah,
it's like a babyface gets his ass kicked, and then the babyface comes back, then the heel comes back. The babyface shines, meaning the babyface shows the crowd all his nice moves. The heel does like a few moves that regains momentum that, according to Al Snow, are so cool that we don't root for the babyface. Then the heel dominates. Then the babyface, finally comes back. And, and then the heel looks weak for selling for 10 minutes. And then, the babyface wins. And Al Snow said this is deadly. But honestly, in a Cena match, I think John Cena's That's pretty much the basic Cena match.
Yeah. I think,
but
he's the most over guy in the company. He said in his interview, it's the babyface's job to get over. And he said with these steps, it's impossible for the babyface to get over. When you have a guy like John Cena who, like I said, is underrated because his pay-per-view matches from 06 to now usually have been good.
That's not the only time it's ever good.
I've heard people say that he only got in 5 moves and he's the most over guy in the company. So Al Snow, your logic is partially off, in my opinion.
It is. It's partially,
they put him over
for the big people,
stuff like that.
If you put it that way, it is partially off for like the John Cena's and the Jeff Hardy's of the world, because they're so over with the fans of whatever company, they're so over. There's no way they can lose,
That's why.
I think the reason he called it deadly is because that's how wrestlers are being trained nowadays.
That's it called deadly. Because you can still, if you're good enough, if you can, it's over. Do we got anything else to say, guys?
I think I might have quick. Reed, do you have an 11-minute time limit?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, then I think I got something to say. Al Snow, smart man. I don't think that maybe he has, like, I think he's kind of a little bit of, this is just my opinion, just a tad bit upset with the wrestling world because he never got as far as he wanted to be. And he says now he's trying to share his knowledge so the young guys don't mess up. He's been doing that for 7 years now. I mean, honestly, I personally thought his career was a little mediocre. But overall, I think
of course it was. I mean,
he made a good point. But nowadays, like I said, with the Cena Miz incident, even though Cena is over, I think most fans would rather pay their tickets to see a good match. But however, like you guys have shown many examples today in this vid, there are other occasions. Okay, I think that's it.
Yeah, and that's why we're those wrestling guys 09.
And I'm Big
Yeah,
Rat
we're those
3.
wrestling guys 09.
Big Rat
Our
3.
Our Big Andy 12, you know the usual.
And
Comment,
Big
rate,
Rat
subscribe.
310.
Go check out Big Rat 310.
Out. Peace. Link will be in the description box.